back after a week off, boys.
Yep. What's up?
Chad had something to say.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, I was asking Evan how many cars he's had.
Since
You've started driving.
I started driving, well,
How many cars have you had since the age of 10?
so my first, 2 vehicles, I had my brother's truck, and then we swapped when he had moved away briefly, and then I had a Sebring.
Okay. Dude, the old Sebring. What color?
Yeah.
Wasn't it purple?
It was plum, yeah. It was pretty bad.
Oh,
You
you,
remember
had
that?
a plum Sebring?
You don't remember that?
I don't think I knew you.
Maybe not. Yeah, you're right. Either you didn't know me or it was we had just started because I
was
wrecked
it. A
it.
convertible?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
started. You knew me.
My mom had a gold one when I was.
I know I
growing
knew
up.
you. I wrecked it not long after I started dating Emily. So you and I would have just
I
been
think
friends, kind of.
I remember hearing about you wrecking it.
Yeah. So we would have been very early on in friendship. So after that, my dad. So this thing, I didn't buy these cars. My dad, after I wrecked that, we bought a cheap $1,000 Ford Focus. Well, that didn't last very long because it was $1,000 and it started crapping out.
$1,000 car.
Yeah. So I traded it in for $1,100 profit.
Yeah.
Stonks.
Stonks. To get my Jaguar. Okay.
Uh-huh. Classic Jag.
Yeah, which was good. I loved that car, but then it actually crapped out. So this is I blame this on my dad. My dad wasn't very good at shopping for cars, because that Jag had the check engine light on when we bought it. And
It's a feature, dude.
so
More light in the cabin.
You know how to turn that off? Just go in there, pull the bulb out.
Yeah.
No problem.
So
gone.
I had that for 6 months, and then it just stopped.
Is that it?
Stopped working.
I thought you had it for longer than that.
You only had
Maybe-
the Jag for 6 months?
Yeah, dude, you had it longer for that. than that.
Maybe so. I don't know. It wasn't. It was less than a year, or maybe at max a year. Not very long. That crapped out. Then after that is when I went with my dad and got my first brand new car. It was a 2016 Elantra, and that's when I actually started paying for a car. I paid for half of it because I was still at home. Didn't make a lot of money. Paid for half of it.
Well, you were living with us when you got that.
Yeah, that's right. Still wasn't very
Liar.
financially stable.
First of all, liar. Go on.
Okay. Then I had that. Okay, so then that's when things started to turn up for my own. So I got married to Ash. I was driving that car. And I was still on my dad's name, but I started to pay for the full amount of it. Well, I wanted to be on a car under my own name. So I traded that Elantra in for a different Elantra. Still had to have my dad's name on there because I couldn't somehow get approved. So accomplished nothing.
Nice.
Then I traded that Elantra in for another Elantra GT.
Oh, moving up.
So, okay.
That was actually on my own. That was
I was gonna ask that. It was completely separate.
yeah,
Like,
that one was finally my own name.
Mm-hmm.
Then we only had one car at the time. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so we worked together at the same hours, so we just drove to work together. Then we decided we were going to start needing another car. So here comes in more. I had a 2002 Ford Explorer, which I would have loved, dude. So I had some bad luck. I loved that Explorer. It had 160,000 miles on it. It ran great. It was clean. I bought it from a Hispanic car lot, okay, Hispanic family-owned car lot.
Don't know why you had to qualify that.
Yeah, but okay.
Because they always have cheaper prices.
Okay.
All right. Don't
So-
know if we want to go there.
So no, I'm saying their car lots always have better priced vehicles. Is what I'm trying to say. So what happened was
That's a nice spin on that.
a lady, the lady I was talking to on Facebook, she had posted an ad for it. She had mispriced it for $2,200.
Because she was Mexican, I bet.
Well, hey, you said that. You know what I mean? I did not say that. So, but she had it listed at $1,200, and so she's like, "Oh, I can't sell you it for $1,200." I was like, "Look, you had it for $1,200. Even she sold it for me for $1,200." Well, she lost my title.
Sounds like she could sell it to you.
She lost my title.
Oh.
Yeah, serves you right.
Yeah, and so I had to give it back because they kept on saying they'll order me another title. Never came in. 3-4 months went by without the title, and so I was like, "Look, I'm just gonna bring it back. Can I bring it back and just get my money back?" And they said, "Yeah." So that I would have. I'd probably still have that car right now, if.
And I actually even liked that.
Yeah, I love that car. Then we got, with that money we got back from that, I got an Expedition. Probably shouldn't have got that. It was really cheap. But our second vehicle was just if we had to drive separate, which was rare, so it didn't have to be that good for me. Okay,
Should have
next.
just gotten her a scooter.
Next. So are you keeping track of how many?
I'm trying. I lost count.
So let's back
I
up.
thought I had a lot.
So
because
do you
I'm
want me to
older,
start
but-
from like the ones where I was like,
Just
my
start
dad?
from
How many
whenever
more
you
could
started
there
driving
be?
the vehicle you drove
A couple.
that maybe you've wrecked, that you used, whatever.
Okay, so truck, Sebring, Focus, Jaguar, Elantra GT, Explorer, Expedition.
Oh my gosh.
Then I tried the Expedition for a Yukon. Okay,
10?
I loved the Yukon.
How old are you?
24.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, Will has only ever had one
I
vehicle.
had one car,
I
and
know.
it was used. It had 80,000 miles on it.
Yep. Okay, hold on. We're not done yet.
Guys, we're only halfway there, guys.
We're only in 2017.
So here we go. So we're at the Yukon. Just a few months later, I traded the Yukon for a Subaru, which I still have. Don't plan on getting rid of that. So yeah, I've made it. I've done my wheeling and dealing until I've made it to the vehicles I've always wanted to have. So I've always wanted to have a Subaru. Doesn't matter if it was I wanted to be an SUV, but it doesn't matter. I've always wanted a Subaru. We
what
got
year
that.
is your Subaru?
16. It's a Forester.
Watch
It's
out
on
for
fire in the driveway.
Watch out for the transmission.
Yeah. Hey, it's good so far.
How many miles?
83,000. Yeah. We'll see. I
Wait-
got the
wait-
warranty
Wait
on it.
another 40,000.
Yeah.
60,000.
So there's that. Still got that. Then I traded the Elantra GT for my truck, which I just traded in today for my 4Runner.
13.
Yeah, but how
You
long
got
did
rid of
you
the
have
truck already?
How
Yeah.
long did you have the truck?
2 months.
2 months.
There's
A new
a
truck
listen. There was a reason for that though. Okay, so my reasoning. So my
is two-wheel drive.
It was brand new, like it was a new car.
yeah. So is this one. Listen, here's my reasoning though. So I traded the Elantra GT because I was pretty upside down on it. Like I owed like double. It was worth like half of what I owed on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that truck was having a ton of rebates and everything. So I basically broke even with that. Okay.
Okay.
So then I used that, and then I traded for this 4Runner where I'm still not very far upside down. And with the 4Runner, the value will, in like a year, it'll be worth more than what I've got left on it. So, and I've always wanted a 4Runner. So
Okay.
we've arrived at my 2 dream vehicles.
Okay.
13 cars later.
13
It's like-
cars. Okay.
Here we go. That's more
So
than
I
that's
had
that's like 1.25 a year.
Toyota
Which
Corolla.
that's like, which that's weird to like. I don't know. It's like I love 4Runners, but I wouldn't say a 4Runner is like a dream vehicle.
It's my realistic dream vehicle.
It's a dream vehicle for me. It's
realistic.
A realistic dream vehicle.
It's not like
Maybe
a Lambo,
if you say
you
it,
know.
Yeah, I was about to say, between all the other brands that are
Yeah.
out there, yeah.
Which reminds me, I'm sure no one wants to hear us talk about cars. I've come to realize that they're not fun to listen to
Car
people talk
talk.
about it. But McLaren came out with a new car. Can't remember what it's called. I got a video on it. It's a 3-seater, and the steering and everything's in the center of the
Nice.
car.
I think I saw that.
It's pretty cool. It's a long car. It's
Pretty
like 17
cool.
feet long. But
Oh, I did see that. It was
Yeah.
like the longest.
yeah, so you can
like
be driving, have
supercar.
two. It's like up a little bit, and then you can have two people sitting. Did I hit that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, smooth move.
You have two people kind of sitting right behind you. Not really behind you, but a little right here.
In their own cockpits.
Yeah.
On the side. They can like lean out and see the ground like right below.
Let's see.
You say cockpit, no one cares. You say pitcock, and everyone
Changes the game.
poopcock.
You say peacock, nobody bets an eye. You say poopcock, and everybody loses their minds.
Now, can you say it in a really good?
He just
Like-
did. That was pretty solid
What's it?
for just on the moment.
You think? No.
Listen,
You need
don't-
like a really good Joker, like
don't
like
subject
Mark
us to that in
Hamill
the
Joker.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. How weird is it that Luke Skywalker voices the Joker in everything animated and all the video
I didn't know
games?
that.
You didn't know that? Mark Hamill's the Joker in everything.
That's awesome.
Bizarre, right? As a Star Wars
Pretty
fan.
bizarre, I gotta say. I wrote something down to talk about.
Have you ever seen Corvette Summer though?
Not including
It's a
not
Mark
including
Hamill movie.
the
It's awful.
band's
Oh.
vehicles. I've gone through 10.
You've had
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't
And
feel so bad,
in-
but he is 30.
29.
Yeah, you got
Oh, you're 29.
29.
Okay, sorry. I
Give
thought
it
you
a
were about to be
month.
31.
you got to hold on to these cars for a while now.
Well,
to-
hey, yeah.
to pay
Well, I
attention.
plan on it. I don't plan on getting rid of these two cars till they die.
And then I get my truck in a couple years, so hopefully this RAV4 and my truck will be
What truck? Your Nikola?
My Nikola.
With a couple of the vehicles that I've had, they're just actually pieces of crap. I'm surprised I'm only at 4.
Yeah. Well, you've
But you're also
literally
23.
taken them to the brink. Like, you've taken them as far as they can possibly go before they're useless.
Yeah, well, the
How much did you get for your blazer?
$500.
Nice.
Nice.
That's what they were gonna give me for my 2013 Impreza.
$500?
Yeah, I got them up to 1,000. But
What was it? Did it run?
Yeah. It
Bro,
ran.
you
have
could
all
have
the
got much
wheels?
more than that.
Huh?
It had all the
four
wheels?
Yeah, all 4 wheels.
Was the engine in it?
Yeah.
The transmission
Was going out. It was slipping hard.
You
I
could
mean,
have
you
driven
could've got
that.
more than
I'm
that.
just gonna say you could have driven that down to Mexico and sold it for metal for more than that.
I was about to say, your blazer, the parts and everything are worth much more than $500.
Not if the parts don't work.
Hey, the seats are probably worth $500.
Okay. I just have. I don't know. Did you all see my Snapchat
Yes, I
story
know what
the
you're
other
about
day?
to talk about.
Did
Yes,
you
I
see it?
saved
Yes,
it.
I saw
Okay.
it.
I
all right.
saved it.
Yes.
Are we all on board?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I'm on board, but I would like to say that I used to be a Reese Piecey kind of guy.
Okay.
Because my brother said it that way.
Death penalty.
Yes.
As somebody whose favorite candy is Reese's.
So, the Snapchat story was about if I can be bothered to pull it off my phone at the end of this week, I'll put it in here. It's about how, like, I would say 50% of people say Reese's cup, Reese's cup,
Reese's.
Reese's peanut butter cup. It's not that. It's just not that. It's a Reese's cup, hence the name Reese apostrophe S.
Yep.
And I don't know, I have this theory that, like, Americans, because we've been so brainwashed by, like, all these fast food chains that are, like, a name apostrophe S.
Yep.
Especially in Arkansas, I've noticed people attach apostrophe S to the end of, like, the name of every restaurant. Even if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because people, it's Slim
MJ.
Chickens.
MJ's.
MJ's.
Everybody says MJ's.
Yeah.
There's no S.
Slim Chickens, people say Slims.
Yep.
Now, to be fair, the chicken's name is Slim. And it's his restaurant.
Yeah, see,
But it's
I
not
always...
called that.
Chicken owns a restaurant?
The chicken on the sign. It's the jazzy chicken with the guitar. You know.
I always...
Yeah.
It's like, I've always known it's Slim Chickens, but I've always thought it should be Slims.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wait.
There's a guitar on the sign.
I'm
for
pretty
Slim
sure he
Chickens?
holds a guitar. I'm pretty sure he at least used to hold a guitar.
Okay.
I've been
don't
going to
know that.
Slims for a long time. I don't know if
Long
you guys
time
are
Slims eater.
OG Slims eaters. Like, I've been going to Slims since there was only the one in Fayetteville.
On college?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no guitar at the moment.
Oh, there's no guitar.
It's
Maybe
just a
I'm
guy
wrong.
in his... It's just a chicken in his hat, and he's like...
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
yeah.
see his eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
He ain't got
thugging.
no eyes.
It's like he's about to kill someone.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Oh, he does have a guitar.
That's the guitar.
It's,
head of
it's the
guitar.
head of a guitar.
Yeah.
What?
Look.
What?
Zoom in.
Everybody's like,
Looks like a necktie.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was a
Okay.
necktie.
I knew
I
he
see
had
that now.
one. I couldn't see it in my mind's eye,
Don't
but
do that. Yeah, I see that.
were you
Now.
calling the police?
Yep.
You could.
Yep.
Yeah, so but the problem with the Reese's thing is that the name of the candy Reese's Pieces, if you're one of those
Psychopaths.
I can't think of a
Moron.
if you're one of these dingbats that says Reese's cup, then that's suddenly Reese's Pieces. Reese's Pieces. And not Reese's Pieces.
No.
The easiest name of a candy of all time to say. The most
Kit
phonetically
Kat's pretty easy.
beautiful name. It's like cellar door.
You're not even exploring.
What?
People say the most beautiful word is cellar door.
That's 2 words.
Look it up. Look it up. I'm just
The
saying.
most beautiful word.
If you say it Reese's Pieces,
Yeah.
Reese's Pieces, it's the easiest thing ever in the world
You
to say.
totally missed like the fact that people say Reese's Pieces.
That was the first thing I said.
I know, but in this moment you haven't mentioned it. Is what I'm saying.
I said it just a second ago.
Oh, it's like you said Reese's Pieces. You're giving them a little
No, I'm
too
saying
much.
if you're saying Reese's Pieces,
Yeah.
you are rat scum.
There's someone did a stand-up bit on that. Like, what in the world's a PC?
What's the deal with all these pieces?
So, do you guys remember
Seinfeld.
when we were in
Like you didn't know.
when we were in high school?
Nope. I
Do
don't
you guys remember? Yeah, you were never in high school.
I feel like you're saying this just to
No.
jab him a little.
For all of us that went to school.
Charlie, we got a real education.
We don't have anything else.
So it would have been the year after I graduated. So I believe y'all's junior year. Yeah. Someone made that anonymous Twitter account. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that?
Dude.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
So I got busted once. So you could just DM them, and it was anonymous.
It was Harbor Anonymous. They took DMs and posted them anonymously so everybody could see them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
That's cool.
the worst
It was
idea.
cancerous,
I wouldn't have been
dude.
able to do that.
It was so bad. So
It was like Ask FM, but like if your question
doesn't-
just got posted.
It just went
Ask
over.
FM.
Oh, you don't know Ask FM?
Dude.
Talk about a bad idea.
yeah,
Ask FM.
we'll touch on it in a second.
What time are we at? He talked about his cars for a long time.
Yeah,
We're
I
only
did.
at, like 16 and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't very long. So I thought it'd be cheeky to get on there and DM them. So, quick background: our band director, we always made fun of him for doing his hands this way.
He'd walk around like this.
And it wasn't like he was being, flaming, but it's just how he stood naturally.
This is
Okay.
where his arms, he'd be doing something and then his arms would end
Yeah.
right here.
So we always said he had T-Rex arms. Okay.
yeah.
So I thought it'd be funny to get on Twitter and get my tweet posted. I said, I want Mr. Ford's T-Rex arms inside of me. Now, this is after I graduated, though, okay?
First of all, horrible idea. Second of all, great tweet.
So what the problem was...
Wait, you already graduated.
I didn't really care, except they did like to have me kind of help with the drum line since I graduated. I'd come in kind of help sometimes.
Yeah, that's
Well, he
smart.
was like, I'll say something about the one teacher I'm still involved
Yeah,
with.
yeah. So my real mistake was telling Jackie Absher that it was me. And I told her, I said, do not tell anyone. What does she do? Tells everyone. Like 20 people. Of course, it gets back to Mr. Ford that there's a rumor that, I heard Evan posted this.
What did 303 say? Don't trust a hoe.
Yeah. Anyway, so
That wasn't as funny as I was hoping.
yeah, it got back. It got
It's
back
not
to
funny
him.
if it's very accurate.
I'm not going to say anything.
I came into school after it was the school day was over. They were gonna have after school practice. I came in, and so I went and I was talking to the assistant director, which was my old percussion director, and we were just talking. And Mr. Ford comes in there, and we're kind of just talking, and then I can't remember how it got to this point, but he's like, "Did you tweet? Did you say I want Mr. Ford's T-Rex arms inside me?" And I literally looked.
No, he said it a weird way, though, didn't he? Like, he said it
I
wrong.
thought it was more like a question.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember you saying it to me where he was like, "Yeah, and who wouldn't want my T-Rex arms inside them?"
I mean,
No, I
so
think-
he did say that.
I think he said, who wouldn't want my T-Rex arms inside of me?
Well, hold on, let me get there. So
He said it wrong.
He asked that. Oh, I don't know if he said it if you flip the words, but he asked that. He said so. He's like, "Did you say that?" I literally, if you're Mr. Ford, I was like, I looked up for what felt like 10, 15 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember exactly what transpired next. He was talking, and he's like, "It's funny, man. It's funny. Who wouldn't want my T-Rex arms inside of him, or something like that?" And I was like, "Okay." And then basically that conversation ended with him telling me that it made some of the girls uncomfortable that I said that, which was definitely either a lie or it was one set of twins that it made uncomfortable.
I was going to say, I know exactly which two it was.
Yeah, so I was
And
pretty
they
much
happened to be sisters.
for a year, I wasn't allowed to come
This-
and help.
So this is from, did you name drop him already?
The
No.
teacher?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Oh, the teacher.
In the tweet, I said it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay, yeah. So Mr. Ford is known for two sentences in my mind. One, he would say, "I'm Mr. Ford until you graduate. You can call me Jeremy, and then I'm going to get to call you whatever I want." He said that in front of the whole band one time. Because I guess somebody called him Jeremy who hadn't graduated yet, and he is so pathetic and sad that he would swear and call a minor a name for calling him by his actual birth name. The second thing I remember about him is he said, and he didn't mean it like this, I'll tell you what he meant, but he did say in rehearsal one time, "If you don't bring a pencil to this class, I'll give you my pencil and you're not gonna like it."
Yeah. Here's my pencil.
And what he meant was he had a 4-foot long pencil,
Oh, yeah.
8 inches around, that he would make you write with. But that's not what he said.
That's not what I heard.
Definitely not what he said.
I mean, imagine someone that loves bands so much that they would give their life for it. That's Mr. Ford. And I'm not talking about being in a band. I'm talking about, like, you know, band
kids.
Yeah.
So I got a job for the school district filming basketball games. So I had a commitment on this Friday night just suddenly. It happened to be all region. So I go in one day. They're paying me. I go in one day and I'm like, my senior year, last semester, I'm like, hey, I got a job and it starts on Friday, so I won't be able to go to all region. And he's like, so you're going to fail band? Because there were 2 grades last semester, and if I failed one of them, I had a 50% in the class, and all region was one of them. And I was like, I have to go to work. I have to go to my job that pays me. And he was like, and you were one of the ones that was going to make it. And I'm like,
you will now not make it.
Okay. I was like, okay, that's what you're mad about is not getting my name under your scorecard of all the students that made it to all region.
Yeah.
So sad.
Oh,
We're at.
I thought you meant like made it in life.
Oh yeah, no, made all region. And you were gonna go.
You were gonna be the ones that made it. Like,
no, he definitely.
You didn't try
not
for
think
all
that
region
about me.
band. You're a failure. Oh, you weren't even there yet. We went to Midwest.
No,
Dude, that was nuts.
That lady there. I did some trumpet stuff with her. Like she would come in and like walk us through stuff.
Which one?
Never
Cavender?
liked her.
No.
No, Cavender. What was her name?
Bozeman?
Yes, that's who you're talking about, right?
I thought that
Really
was-
old lady.
No, I can't remember her
Ellison?
name. She was pretty young.
With the trumpets?
No, she was at Hellstern.
That one,
Yeah.
she
It's
got
not
married.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, no. I never liked her. She kind of creeped me out. She did not emote on her face at all. And like if you did something good, she'd be like, good. But that's the same face she made when it was bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, I always felt like she was like...
Lying.
Well, it's like, imagine,
Yeah.
so the most intense, I guess my sophomore and junior had to endure it twice. Like the most intense band practice that there could be. And it was like that every time with Midwest rehearsals. Just because it was so serious.
I
Mr.
tried out
Ford.
for Midwest. I just...
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
right.
like
The
it.
9th graders could do it, right?
Yeah.
They could come up. That's right.
Only...
Bryant and Peyton.
Yeah. But like, I think 4 trumpets from Central tried out. Like a
Oh, okay.
bunch of students from Central tried out, and only Bryant made it.
No, it was
I think.
nuts, man. Like, Peyton McCartney did was...
Bryant, he went to Southwest.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Anyway, we should talk about something else because Charlie's like...
Anyways. So
So
there's
9/11.
there's been a...
Tower 7.
A homeless guy living behind the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah. So, like...
It's like behind the dumpsters?
That's
Have you
so
named
the
the
funny to
dumpsters,
him.
and then there's kind of like that wooded area. He's back there vibing
Have you
himself.
named him yet?
We call him the general manager, Jimmy. We call him his dad.
He's out there with some binoculars.
Jimmy, your dad's back.
Well, no, that was the thing.
Y'all like give him scraps?
No, he's coming to the restaurant twice, and he'll get a couple drinks. He'll get like something to eat, and surprisingly,
How
I
does he
mean,
pay for it?
with cash.
All right.
Homeless,
He's going to a...
eating at MJ.
I was know it's like an upscale... You could go to Eureka and get 4 large
See,
pieces
and that was my
the price
thing.
you
That was
pay
my
at-
thing. I was like, if I'm homeless, I'm going to like a buffet. You
Yeah,
got value, man.
But there's nothing there. Like, how does he get to Eureka Pizza from where he's at?
You
There's a
call.
Eureka
It's
right
across
there.
the interstate.
Yeah, there's sidewalk the whole way there.
Ah,
yeah,
never
Or
mind.
Golden Dragon. This dude's missing out. It's like the ants. It's like the ants that will never leave like your front yard. They don't know the world exists. It's like that. He
You
doesn't
just
know that
compared
Golden Dragon's
human
over there.
beings
You
to
need to take him
ants.
over there.
Okay. He doesn't
So
know it's
it's
over there.
you need to like rehome him.
So every time he's come in, he's been like a little odd. Just kind of.
Just buy a house.
He's been like a little He's been a little weird. Like just some of the stuff he says and he does. Like he'll
He's mentally ill. He's homeless.
Well, he'll like, I don't know. It's like he just gets up, he'll like walk around for a second and then just sit back down.
There's,
Yeah.
there's a reason he's without shelter.
Yeah, it's
Well, anyway,
homelessness has almost nothing to do with like the. That was loud.
smooth.
Has nothing to do with like being able to earn money or like doing drugs. It's always because they have undiagnosed mental illness. It's like, it's not that there's not enough houses.
Yeah.
It's that when you put them in the house, they can't handle themselves.
Yeah.
Well,
Our dog was used, like Xena.
You bought a
You
used
bought
dog?
a used.
Was it refurbished?
We
Bought a mystery dog.
we got her from a shelter, but they said she was like a panhandler's dog. Like
Oh,
they
wow.
would use her at the corner of the interstate to get more money.
You guys, what percentage of the people that are at those like intersections do you think are actually homeless?
2%.
Yeah,
say,
And
it
you
can't be
always
very
know.
many.
You always know by what their skin looks like. Because
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
if it's like baked.
if they're tan, if they have a lot of wrinkles, or if they're visibly dirty. If you see anybody that isn't like those three things, they're not homeless.
Yeah.
Well, so he comes in one day, and Jimmy's making me change, and he goes, "So Joe Biden's gonna be president," and then both of us at the same time go, "Yep, it looks that way." Like,
Wow. Default response.
well, because we're doing stuff, but also like, I don't know if it's a conversation I want to have with a customer, but also like, I don't
So
know.
you know who Joe Biden is?
Well, and so he just goes, "I don't know how I feel about that. He's a socialist," and we're just like, "Yeah," but then I'm kind of like, now I'm kind of interested. I'm like, okay, now I got a little bit of a crazy
The
dude to
homeless
talk to.
guy isn't pro social programs.
Well, and so it gets better, dude. So he's like, "Yeah, Joe Biden's a socialist." He's like, I'm like, "Okay, cool. He's a little crazy. I can get down with this. All right." And then he goes, "Not that I'm a fan of Bush." And I go, "What?" I was like, "Wait, what did you just say?" I was like, "Do you know what year it is, my man?"
What does it tell you if a homeless man doesn't like Joe Biden? What does that tell you?
I don't know.
He's like, I
But
don't
the
want
man
his
also-
handouts.
yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
A tainted money. I don't want it.
But he also was like talking about George Bush.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like Bush either.
Yeah,
It's like
when
it's like
Katrina
how it
hit
went.
last year, I
You should have
just
been like, yeah, Ronald Reagan's kind of a scumbag.
Also, I mean, not to be like that guy,
Come on.
but you might have.
When Chad says that, we all know he's that guy.
Yeah, you're that guy.
You're that guy.
Well, okay,
Chad.
not to be that dude, but apparently I am. You might have bigger problems than who's
the president.
Yeah. Say,
Like,
man,
I'm not gonna tell you. I mean, dude, vibe your shit back there. He's like, if you go out there back in the like at night, you can see his like flashlight, and he's reading
He's
his
got
book,
like
dude.
he's got like a Beats pill. Dude, do you remember the Blonde Bandit?
Yes.
You do from
Yes.
Macadoodles?
You do?
Yeah, that guy was so he would come in from next door half the time, not even be able to pay for like his food,
Yeah.
but
He'd
would
be like, I
always,
want a small cheese pizza.
Yeah, it'd be like a small cheese, and then he'd tell them back there. He's like, "Yo, just throw something on there for me. Just throw extra stuff." Like,
Oh, you
I was-
told me about it.
Yeah, I was there the first time he came in. He was like, I just want a small cheese pizza, and he paid for it. It was like $5. And he walks up and watches them making it. That's the thing some people like about MJ's. You can see them making your pizza. And he's looking at him, like, put the cheese on there. He's like, put some of those, he's like, can I get some of those, pepperoni and, oh, are those red peppers? Can I get some of those? And, like, what's his name? Richard, the cook, he, like, just, like, didn't know what to do. So he just, like, put it on there, like, a little bit. And from then on, he would always come in and do the same thing, and no one liked him. And they made him, like, a terrible pizza one time. And the dude was like, man, this isn't very good. They, like, purposely made him a pizza that was, like, this big.
Like a Lunchable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a bagel bite. Hey, dude, shut up. Quit laughing.
Don't laugh. Don't clap.
so clap, asshole.
We told that one. I think we
Yeah,
have.
we have. We
Yeah.
definitely.
That was
told
a good one.
We should go back to IHOP sometime.
Yeah, we should go. We should get my dad.
Yeah.
We should do a podcast at
should
IHOP
get
with
Jimmy's
my dad.
Get everyone in, dude. I'll bring Mike from work.
It's like an 8-person podcast, and no, you can't hear what anybody's saying. Everybody's talking.
Dude, I've thought about, like, if there's ever a week where, like, a bunch of us were off, like, if you guys went, like, when y'all start touring again, like, went out, there's a whole camp of salesmen at my work that are just all into QAnon and all into, like, all
We
that
need to get
stuff.
'em
Like,
on here.
they always say that QAnon says nothing can stop what is coming. That's his saying. And all of a sudden, a Wikipedia page popped up for some national government, like, branch of something, I don't know. And the initials are NCSWIC. And they're like, nothing can stop what is coming. So they started a group text amongst themselves, sending each other this bullcrap. And I was like, dude, can you throw me in there? So, like, I'm in there now. And, like, just, like, the random bullcrap comes
You
in.
should start feeding like fake stuff in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I just
Yes.
feed right into their lies.
Dude,
Yeah.
somebody saw JFK walking around.
Yeah.
They saw him with their eyes.
No, you should
Just make a news article and send it. Say, can't you see this?
you should make it, but like just to prove the point to everybody that they're all just BSing, make it like always happen to you, and then they have to buy it, or they're proving that they're not just BSing.
we haven't had the podcast since the election. Can we talk about how many freaking... Listen. I thought...
Tower 7?
I still think...
I thought Kanye really had a chance.
I still think that... I still think the way that the Dems handled Trump winning in 2016 was worse. But the way the Republicans are handling a loss, taking an L, is pretty bad. Like, they're still convinced that Trump's going to just somehow win this election. Like, something's going to happen.
I saw something like, imagine being one of the people in Nevada counting votes, and then like 2 days later having to count them again.
Yeah.
They're
Like, it took us 2 weeks.
They said go back?
There was a video from, I can't remember if it was Nevada or Arizona, but a bunch of people, like, it was one of the two, because they were both taking long to count the votes. Day or two after the election, a bunch of people are outside a chain link fence.
I saw that.
Yeah, and so they're all sitting there
just...
protesting, and a dude comes out with like some cases, and there's a guy's like, "Look, there's the votes, there's the fake votes!" Like yelling at him, and like he goes to the camera, like, "Look, there it is!" And
like he knows.
It's the press entrance, and it's the camera guys, and it's all their.
Oh, I saw that.
He goes
I saw the tweet.
He goes and interviews
gear.
those people. Say, "Hey, what's in there?" He's like, "This is my GoPro. This is my tripod. This is."
These are the Biden votes.
Like,
you know what's really sad? So Kanye, he voted for president for the first time ever this year.
Himself.
Oh yeah.
And he voted for himself.
Yeah,
Nice.
Are you telling me the narcissist voted for himself?
Which makes me ask, does like do Trump and Biden go vote?
Yeah,
They make a
Yeah.
big deal out of it every year, but they mailed it in this year.
The point is that Kanye's first time voting was for himself.
The
joke.
year there was a video of when Obama voted, and
Fake birth certificate.
there was no, because there's
from
like
Africa.
He was
His
like,
wife's a man.
He was talking to the girl next to him, just like chatting her up, and the girl's boyfriend came over and kind of like got in Obama's face, like, "Hey, that's my girl," and Obama's like, "Okay," like I think it was all
And
a
Obama
joke,
dunked on him.
Yeah.
What if he's like, who you vote for?
Just like, I'm voting for Trump. You just changed my mind.
Oh man.
Can we talk about?
try to cut this?
What? No, it was like that.
Oh, it was like that. That hole. The hole in the spool.
Little handle.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, that's a handle.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Can we talk about how infuriating it is that nothing can be on time? Like lateness is just normal.
Or people.
It's just
Are
normal.
you talking about? What do you mean?
Anything
I mean,
specific?
the
I hate
votes.
being
Like the
late.
votes?
The votes. It's like it took a week for them to count votes. Did you not
yeah.
know the
Like,
vote was
what do you
happening?
do? What are they doing?
Oh, we gotta count votes.
Like they're probably sitting in here like we are, just like they do 100 votes. Like, all right, guys.
It's they. The problem is that it's extra infuriating because they know how many people can vote. They know exactly how many can vote, and you don't get enough people to handle that.
What they did was they hired a bunch of ex-construction workers to get them in there counting votes, and they just went as slow as possible, like they do road work.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it right there.
Yeah.
They're taking a vote at a time, and they're cracking a beer.
If it was New Jersey, I would have bought that because I mean, there's a history of them just
I
milking
mean, honest
the
to
road
God,
projects.
like, what were they doing?
Not counting
This-
votes. There was like 6 people counting every vote for the
Like
whole state
20
of Nevada.
million votes.
There's gotta be a better way than just like manually.
Well, like we
counting
said,
votes.
Imagine if you could do it on your phone.
On your
Well-
phone, that's a stretch.
Yeah. Well, I've
send
always
you a
been
verification
saying, like,
text.
There's got to be a way that everybody can vote online.
Text your vote.
You would have more votes. Like more people would
Yeah.
vote.
It would be incredible.
It would be amazing, and it would be like instantly counted.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: if you don't have the internet and can't vote on it, you probably shouldn't be
Kill
voting.
yourself.
You probably shouldn't be voting because you
I
probably
mean-
don't know enough.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
well,
But like you can file your taxes online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
You
talked
can-
about all of this.
I know.
I don't mean to shut you down, but like
he's very passionate.
election cast.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
It's sketchy. This election is sketchy.
I gotta say, yeah, whether
And if
Either way,
if the
both
Democrats start acting like this one wasn't sketchy, then the last 4 years were just BS. With the Russian crap, are you kidding
for
me?
sure.
We have concrete evidence this time. We watched it in real time that there was serious manipulation of stuff that went on. Would it be different? Probably not. Almost certainly not. But are we just going to all act like this is just what's going to be happening from now on?
Yeah.
The people who said that there was a, the Russian crap and that it was all tampered with last 4 years ago are like, no, there's no way that could happen.
Absolutely no way.
The evidence doesn't. Yeah. You mean now that there's like numbers to back it up?
Yeah.
And now there's not anything?
There's sore winners. I gotta say that. Like when Donald Trump won, granted, maybe I wasn't that much. I don't pay attention that much to it back then, but I feel like it was like okay, like Republicans were like okay, but like Democrats like fought other people. But it's like this time, like Republicans are obviously on their own kind of crazy thing of
they're doing the Fortnite dance with
Yep. And then the Democrats are just like idiots, like just calling Republican all stupid and everything. I don't know.
There was this one tweet from a podcaster I listened to after the election, and it's still his pinned tweet 4 years later, and it says, well, at least tomorrow we can all get up and try our best, and nobody gets to vote on that. I'm like, you are sad. And that's a sad tweet, and you should feel bad for tweeting it. Like, were you not trying your best up to this point?
I was talking to these those people at my work that are super Republican, and I was telling them like, so they know I'm generally pretty conservative. Generally, I mean we've talked about this before, but they're like shocked that I'm like I don't believe there's voter fraud or that there's not enough to overturn this, and they're shocked that I'm like there's no way that Trump's gonna win. He would have to prove voter fraud, prove there was enough voter fraud to overturn millions of votes.
And do a recount.
Yeah.
Get
and I'm
every
like,
state to recount.
I'm like, there's absolutely no way it's going to happen to like, I thought you liked freedom, Evan. Like,
so you can bleep this out. I was genuinely shocked to see that was not like a Trumper.
She is, dude. She hates him.
Dude,
I don't know if I talked about this on here or not. Maybe, stop me if I did. But she posted something on Facebook a couple weeks ago, and she was like, oh, you sent me something too. We'll talk about that in a second. That's what I'm about to say. It was like the 7 unforgivable sins in the Bible or something like that. And the 7th one is, I can't remember the exact words, but it's basically causing, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not violence, but it's like causing problems amongst
Strife.
people, yeah. And she like highlighted that one. She's like, notice the last one, about Donald Trump. Well,
meanwhile, posting political stuff on her Facebook.
Yeah.
For all her friends to argue
this is
under.
one. For this camp, you have to believe that, like with abortion, that a fetus is a person, because number 4, it says like shedding innocent blood, and I want to be on there. But she's like she's like the top boss, like right under our owner, so I couldn't get on there and say anything. But I want to be like, hey, you forgot number 4.
Hold on, you added your top boss on Facebook.
I mean, it's just the HR lady.
The HR lady? You have the HR lady on your Facebook?
It's just we're one business. It's just a family-owned business.
That's crazy.
All the workers are friends with everyone.
You agree, right?
Yes.
Chad?
Yes. If the HR person at my work was not my mom, I wouldn't add her.
I don't think I added her. I think she added me.
I'm friends with Chef.
She added you to keep track of you.
I don't think so. You'd have to.
Yes,
you'd have to know her.
did.
No, you'd have to know this family.
I'm pretty sure I can say whatever I want. I don't think Chef will care.
No, yeah, it's a little different.
Chef might even just agree.
Nobody's going to come in and be like, I'm not eating food made by that bigot.
Yeah, but maybe that's the case. But you'd have to know this lady. She's not like the kind that even cares about what we say.
Sorry.
18.
But
We can stop
agree.
him just real quick. Let's just stop him real quick. Can you hit the button on that?
So I saw this thing and I sent it to Evan.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
funny.
this lady tweeted, she said, "What a relief. My son just hugged me and said, 'Mommy, no more kids in cages. Tears of joy
That didn't
and
happen.
tears of sadness.'" And some dude said, "Stop lying on your kids. Lol, I hate when I see posts Junior saw me crying and said, "Fret not, mother, for we shall prevail in these trying times." Word, yo dumbass son ain't say that.
Fret not, mother, for we will prevail in these trying times. Oh my God.
I saw one. There's like a really famous one where she's like, I was reading my son a book about wolves, and I asked him if he was scared of the wolves, and he said, "No, Mom, because they're just words, but words never die." And she was like, "He's 3." Like, no, what he said is, "Bat, bat, bat." Why? It's 3.
3-year-olds can talk.
Yeah, I know, they have oatmeal brain, though.
What?
Have you ever... I mean, I taught Sunday school for a year, exclusively 3-year-olds.
16 months.
Yeah.
I'm out, oatmeal brain.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you that for my 16-month-year-old.
I taught Sunday school for 3-year-olds, and one day this kid came up to me, and he's like, "I'm a battle fighter." And I was like, great. And then he ran off, just drooling everywhere. I mean, they don't know anything, dude. And your 3-year-old was like, "Words never die." It's like, he doesn't know what death is. Also, he can't read.
Words never die, Mom.
Wolves die.
War. Oh, man.
So,
Crap, dude.
teaching, have you guys ever taught Sunday school?
No.
At church?
Not that young, no.
Oh, dude.
Not that tiny.
I had one kid come in. I knew, like...
Isn't that just called nursery?
No, what is it at Fellowship? It's preschool place at Fellowship.
Okay. So
3-year-olds are in
McDonald's play
preschool.
place.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's 3 and 4-year-olds. 3 and 4-year-olds.
Okay.
Nobody's over 4, but most of them are 3. So I would know 70% of my class. It was weird if like a kid I didn't know came in. And so this one kid comes in one day, and his mom drops him off. It's all normal. We're playing around, and I'm like, "Hey, did you have a good week this week?" And he was like, "The police came and took my daddy." I was like, "All right."
What for?
And he was really well behaved the rest of the time. Meanwhile, he would try to sit next to me at carpet time, like bumper to bumper, and he would wait until I wasn't looking and go over and hit me in the balls.
Get pranked.
Just like, he'd be looking up at me, and the second I would look up at the stage, he'd be like, "Bah!" Right on my balls. I'd be like,
Dude, I'd be throwing hands with that kid, bro.
and we couldn't we literally, there was nothing.
We weren't allowed to fight the kids.
There's no way to reprimand him. So I just made him go sit in the
hit
classroom.
him in his balls.
I made him go sit in the classroom, and I turned the lights off. So he had to sit in the dark while we all sang songs.
So you're gonna sit there and turn the heat up. Just
We would come back to class, and we'd do craft, and he'd come over, hit me again.
back in the dungeon you go.
Yeah, and so his mom would come and pick him up, and she'd be like, "Was he good today?" I was like, "No, he hits a lot," and she'd be like, "Kevin." I'm like,
Was that his name?
I don't know.
Okay, I was like, that's not a very
like,
ethnic
Kevin.
name.
I didn't learn his
very
name. I just knew him as
ethical
Ball
name.
Man.
Yeah, Ball Puncher 9000.
There's some guy like sitting like cities away. He's like in his own podcast. Yeah, there's this old teacher I used to have. I used to try to punch him in the balls all the time.
It's like it was rad. It's crazy because all those kids are like 9 and 10 now.
That reminds me, there was a time when I was probably 4, 5, 6-ish, somewhere around there. And we went to a place in Louisiana that was just a go-kart place. Had it for all different ages, different tracks. And I went in one, and all I know is that I guess when you're so young, I mean, obviously, you just don't listen to what someone's telling you. So I was put in a go-kart, and the guy, like the, whatever you call him, the worker, came over and was like strapping me in, make sure I was strapped in and everything was working right. And I'm sitting right here in the go-kart. He's in front of me, reaching over, trying to fix this. And I'm sitting there tapping the gas, going, inching forward.
As he's trying to fix your
Yeah,
thing.
and he keeps like getting pushed back. He's like, okay, you gotta stop. And then like I just wasn't listening, kept doing it, like moving forward. And then he's like, hey, stop. And then like I like punch it for a second longer, and it hits him in the shin. He's like, all right, you're out. He kicks me out of the go-kart. Like smacked him right On the shin, dude, with
Yeah.
a go-kart.
You know how I know? Yeah, kids didn't say crap like that. It's because I worked at a place where kids came in and didn't listen to a damn word.
Locomotion.
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way a kid under the age of 12 knows anything of what's actually happening on in the world.
And it's so much worse for you because it's like they don't listen because you're like scum to them.
You're like not their parents.
You're like
You're
retail workers. They're in charge and they're 7.
6-year-old comes up to you and like, oh, he's just a locomotion worker. He's nothing.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm their boss and they're 7.
They get in the go-kart, and I'm like, all right, you guys listen to the rules? He goes, you're dead to me. You're dirt. You're nothing.
Man, I just want to grab those kids by the ankles and just like,
Shake
whip
them
them
like
out like a
sheet.
blanket.
Yeah. Kids.
Feel like they wouldn't do that anymore
Yeah.
because they'd be dead.
This ain't like the world our parents grew up in. You know, like you're in a store,
Here we
like
go.
some parents hit their kids. You know, like
Oh, yeah.
they're gonna behave.
Smack
people
them in
don't
the
do that
face.
anymore.
They
Absolutely
They
not.
do in other countries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did. I've listened to podcasts where people are like, I think, I don't want to get the country wrong because I'm going to sound racist.
They literally just chop off their kid's finger right there.
No.
Pull up the garden
she
fires
grew up
like...
in like Singapore, I think, and when they lived there, they didn't get spanked. Their mom would pour out rock salt and they would have to kneel on it
Ooh.
for like 30 minutes.
Oh.
And then when they moved here, their mom like discovered that was illegal.
Oh,
like,
nice.
like you can't make your children
Nice.
bleed by making them kneel on rocks here.
So I know some people who moved to Sweden, and they are not allowed to. Basically, you are not allowed to even spank your child. Like, you can get arrested and stuff for doing that.
Yeah.
And so
I believe it in Sweden.
Who's gonna tell them? Who's gonna
The
tell
kids
them?
will
You ready for
freaking-
this? You ready for this?
Yeah.
They have secret websites online where the kid can go and report their parents.
Oh, like
wow.
that isn't abused.
Yeah. Some like parent bumps into their kid like, I was hit.
Their kid went to school one day, and one of his friends just had a set of new parents. Or something. Yeah. Like crazy. Yeah, and they had to go through like interviews before they could.
So what happened to your
get
mom and dad?
resident-
No, he hit me
like,
in the knee.
before they were allowed to live there, and then they interviewed the kids without the parents
Shoot.
before
Wow.
they were allowed to live there. It's like a really big
Wow.
thing there. Yeah, I can only imagine how incredible those kids behave.
I mean,
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
well, maybe not. I mean, you can't hit them.
So I was in
That's just sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
I was in Sunday school. I think this was middle school.
Home Sunday school.
No. Yeah, we do all our church.
They
at home, too.
Charlie
called
didn't
I
leave the
never
house
left
until
the house.
25.
I never left the house until I got married. I had never seen another female until I got married.
He's like,
My wife.
But me and my best friend, we were acting up in like our Sunday school class, and the teacher, I think she was 10 or 15 years older than us, and I liked her. She was cool. She was a family friend. Like, I knew her before she was our Sunday school teacher, but she was getting on to us for acting up. She goes, if you guys don't straighten up, like, I'm gonna make you sing "I'm a Little Teapot" with the hand motions in front of class. And like me being, I mean, I'm an entertainer. Like, I like being in front of people on stage and doing stuff like that. I didn't care. It was like, whatever. But my best friend that I was screwing around with, like, I didn't realize he was more of an introvert and didn't like the spotlight. And so we ended up, like, we kept on acting up, and she made us sing "I'm a Little Teapot" with all the hand motions in front of the whole class. I was loving it. Like, it was I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, okay,
He's over there
fine.
throwing up.
Yeah, and the dude, but then after that, like, years later, I was talking to him like that. He goes, oh yeah, I hate that girl. Like, because of that interaction. I'm like, what? Like,
Oh, I thought he would be like, God, Charlie, I hate you.
No. He hated the teacher because she made us do that. I'm like, dude, that wasn't that big. Like,
That was the best night of my life.
Yeah, it wasn't a
on top
big
of the
deal
world.
to me.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
that was
Yeah.
the biggest thing that ever happened in a school setting for me.
That was a talk in the living room.
That was the only thing that ever happened to me outside of the house. Have you ever like seen one of like your elementary teachers again in real life and realized how old you thought they were and then how old they actually
Actually are.
were?
I got something awesome. There's a movie. You can fact check this for me because y'all might not believe it's real, but
Facebook, get on it.
It was a kind of a smaller movie. It went to theaters, every theater, and this is when I worked at the movie theaters when I was 16, maybe I was 17. And it was a movie about like the invention of the dildo, or it was the vibrator. Don't know. It was like a real
I'm not gonna
movie.
Google that.
I'm not saying you have to, but if you don't believe me, you can.
Well, we're on the edge of our seats. Where's the
And
story
then
going?
I bring up my old English teacher. She comes in, doesn't recognize me because I look a lot different than I did in 7th grade. And she's like, yeah, 2 tickets for a dildo movie, whatever it was called.
Was it called Hysteria?
Yes, Hysteria. Yes.
Yeah. What? No. Okay. Hugh Dancy.
Huge.
Maggie
Humongous.
Gyllenhaal. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Maggie
a real
Gyllenhaal's in it?
2011.
Yeah, it's like a real.
That was like a legit movie then.
Yeah.
She's an
And so,
A-list
like,
actor.
I was like,
I straight up Googled movie about the invention of the dildo, and that
yeah,
what came
and like
up.
she was like a big old lady, like, like
What school?
old, like 50s.
What's her
Helen
first and
Tyson.
last name and her address?
It was Helen Tyson.
Okay.
And it was my English teacher, and like she,
Rupert
2 for
Everett.
Hysteria. I was like, oh my god. Like they walk in there like.
Oh
just to,
yeah, I remember hearing about this movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Your parents were probably like, that's from hell. That's
yeah.
Satan.
They're like, "What's Hysteria? Shut up."
That's the
guys,
devil.
I was already 21 by the time this came out.
I had my first grade teacher.
Was it the 90s?
Got him. Yeah.
Oof.
My first grade teacher had short hair and glasses, and I thought she was like 60. My mom was like, no, she was like 27.
Yeah.
I haven't really run into any elementary school teachers. I've run into quite a few high school teachers, but I
Yeah.
That's because there's like 6 elementary school teachers, and then there's like 5,000 high school teachers. But yeah, I haven't seen any because I went in Fayetteville for the most part. So
I had this one teacher, my 5th grade teacher. She's kind of like me. She would like quote movies and stuff like that all the time, but like use them. And one time she used one from a movie, and I was like, "Hey," and she's like, "Yeah." she quoted National Security, like somebody was doing something. She goes, "What the problem is?" And I was like, "Yeah."
is that from National Security?
Basically, yeah. She's
Dude,
like,
Mr. Shelby did that one time. He was like giving us a pep talk for a concert or something in the band room, and he was like, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And it was dead silent in the room, 200 kids, and I was like, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And everybody was like, and I was like, I didn't even realize I was just like screaming that. And he's like, Star Trek! He was like, yep.
Thank you, Will.
He was like, Will is the band room Trekkie. I was like,
Can I go in the bathroom and cry, please?
can I go poop and pee pee in my pants?
Can I go in the practice room real quick? You shut the door there.
They're all sitting there. They're just like,
We're laughing over things that haven't even happened. That's so funny. Like just our own fantasy situations. We should make movies. We would make funny movies.
Last night I almost made Grace piss her pants because we got back to my place after our church group, and we were just gonna like watch a show, and then she was gonna go, and I like went into the closet to like take my jacket off, and she was just like, boop 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 boop, like in the living room. I was like, "Are you booping out there?" And I didn't hear anything, and I was like, "That's not good." And I went out there, and she was like on the floor. She was like, "If you say anything, I will pee."
What?
I was like, I didn't even mean it to be that funny.
Did y'all, whenever y'all were in elementary school, did y'all ever have to go, like, they sept the boys and girls, and you have to go watch those, like, puberty
Oh, yeah.
videos?
No.
Nope.
Here, get this. I switched
Nope.
schools.
Nope.
You guys don't want to hear about my sex ed story.
No, I don't. I
tell it.
kind of do.
I'll tell it. Okay.
I switched schools the year, like, to miss that. I switched like a year late, and I never had to watch a sex ed video.
I remember,
Nice.
like, there was one, it was called, like, Just Around the Corner, like...
Just
they had,
around the
like,
river bend.
And they had, like, a little jingle with it, and they got all the guys to watch it, and all of us were watching this thing in the computer room, and then they turned off the lights, and then you had, like, female teachers. All right, anybody have any questions? And we're like,
No.
Look, so get this, dude. This is so funny. So, we had that in 5th grade, and they talked about wet dreams. Okay, they're like when you wake up and it's like it was. Trust me, this is uncomfortable.
Chad doesn't want to talk about this. Man.
No, here's it's funny.
This
Okay,
is such a weird
so I
topic.
I had problems like wetting the bed like through elementary. Okay,
And that's what you thought that was.
no, listen, it's so much better. So, listen. So they said she was like, yeah. So when you wake up and think you wet the bed, that's usually what it is. And I was like, I haven't been wetting the bed. So I go home to my mom and dad.
Straight up piss in the bed till I'm 14.
I was like, guess what? So I'm not wetting the bed. I'm semening the bed. Is what I said to my parents, and they're like, oh, good to know.
I was gonna. Okay, I gave room to cut, and your dad was like,
It was exactly like that. I remember so vividly. My mom was putting away groceries in the fridge, and she was like,
Say psych right now.
wow.
oh man. What was y'all's weird like animated crush growing up?
What?
Oh, I meant to talk about this. one time.
Like usually like when you're growing up, you watch animated movies. There's like one animated girl, you're like, man, she's cute.
Dude.
And it's got to be a weird one though.
Simba from the Lion King.
Mine's arguably worse than that. It was the female
this
ant from Bugs Life.
See, mine's not that weird then.
No, y'all can't top that.
I couldn't.
She do be having antennas though.
See that thorax?
Don't speak again.
She had a
Dude,
big
if it's-
caboose.
If it ain't Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender, I mean, what are you even living for?
Mine was definitely like Mirage from The Incredibles, for sure.
Oh, okay, see, it's a human at least.
Yeah.
See, mine's Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Old.
Is that like the really hoish looking girl in that movie?
She's literally like hourglass shaped.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
She practically
yeah,
meets in the
exactly.
middle, basically.
Yeah. That was like trying to bait kids into like something. I don't know.
That's all. That's what they all are.
Dexter's Lab, dude.
Oh,
Who didn't love? Yeah.
The mom.
The mom.
Dude.
Duh. Didn't it ever, is
the
it like
mom-
it never showed her face?
No, the mom had a pair of pants in the
Okay.
show that said like the dad's name, the like dad's property on the butt of the pants in the show.
Nice.
What's that time at?
Should be,
1930
yeah,
when
20
they started
minutes.
to change it.
Sorry again.
My parents never had a talk.
So
I was given
Yeah,
a book.
I never really either.
I had to read a book that was like aimed at preteens. That's all it was.
I got
would be-
all of you beat. My mom got pregnant.
Oh.
14.
I feel like you
That's
told me this
right.
outside of the podcast one
Yeah.
time.
How the
Yeah.
crap did that happen, Mom? Did you go to
I
the
was in
baby
the
store?
room.
Did Dad hurt you?
I was in the room when she delivered
I
my
have a
sister.
question.
I was on the foot end of the bed when my sister came out.
Who did this to you? Whose baby is that?
Wait, I've got
Gators,
a,
bitches, better be using chimneys.
I've got a semi-uncomfortable question.
What?
That means they got pregnant when your dad had one leg, right? And
The
your
leg.
mom had a bad leg.
The prosthetic.
How did that work?
Hey,
Yes.
the jokes write themselves. We're moving on. We're moving on.
He still had two legs.
The jokes write themselves.
Alright, next question. How does that work? Explain.
What? How does what work?
The one leg, like, is he?
How am I supposed to know? I've got
asked?
2 legs. No.
Maybe he just bends the prosthetic.
No, he takes it off. He didn't.
Do you know this?
Maybe. Yeah.
Obviously.
He doesn't go to.
I know he doesn't go to sleep with it on, but I mean, like,
I
he's like, come over here. Like throws.
or maybe he does. Maybe it helps while they're. And
This
so,
is even worse because they're like the two people that watch this.
Like, pull my leg.
I'm gonna throw up.
But like maybe if it's useful, like he leaves it on.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, like if he's laying in bed and it's
Give him leverage.
He just falls over if he takes it off.
if he's like laying in bed and it's on, she's like, oh, okay. Like, now we know. Evan's vain. I love his vain.
Sending me clues there. Whew.
All right, that's probably getting cut, right?
I hope not. That was funny. Keep that in. I don't care.
Think about it, Charlie.
No.
Okay.
Please.
All right, I have a game that
Okay.
I'm going to prepare for us to play next week.
Oh,
So,
I thought we were gonna play it this
Next
week.
week,
I
in
forgot.
for game night or
no,
No.
for the podcast. For the
Okay.
podcast. I have to prepare slides. So I'm going to show you a picture
Okay.
of two criminals. It's just the pictures of them. They may be prolific. You might not know who they are. And then I've prepared a variety of questions, and I'm going to make you decide which one you want to sit next to on the bus.
Oh, okay.
Which one you want to get a bite to eat with. Which one you would buy weed from.
Oh, it's one of
And
those
then
guys.
I'm going to tell you the crimes of each person.
There we go. That sounds
Are you all
interesting.
on board?
Yes,
I'm
in.
down.
Okay.
It's
So-
a weird, twisted fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that. So they're on...
Who's Mary?
Doesn't matter.
Who's Mary Kill? Okay, anyway, go on.
And stop calling me Shirley. All right, now that we've been... Those are the only hackish jokes we can tell all night.
What'd you say?
It's from. Forget it.
Is it from Sunny?
I'm the trash man. Start talking trash.
The warthog. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Oh,
I
sound
love
the
that
Death
show so
Sticks
much.
guy. Okay, anyway, I feel like someone was about to say something, but maybe not. You were saying something.
It was on one of Tom Segura's podcasts. He showed it was like the names were under them, and he was like, which one of these people do you want to get dinner with? I was like, it'd be better if they didn't know and you told them. Because like one of them was like Casey Anthony, but depending on the picture, you might not recognize her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, which one do you want to babysit your kids?
Clearly fed smoker.
Yeah, fed smoker.
Which I don't even think. I think.
You're lucky you're not getting this
stamp.
stamp on your head,
But-
Chomo.
But Evan doesn't know who fed smoker is.
You don't know who do you know?
Maybe.
I feel
We
like
have to
I
watch
showed
that video after.
Dude sets his hair on fire. Like
He's like,
he always has a different.
you gotta
dog
keep
in
on
video.
feathering it, brother.
Yeah.
He goes up to the guy at the fence and he's like, you just lost your job, buddy. You lost your life. And the guy's like, are you threatening me? It's just really
And
funny.
he's like, how do you get a job here?
The words
Well,
he
we'll
calls
see.
people are horrible and hilarious. All right, yeah, so we're going to do that next week. For sure. For sure.
I've laughed so hard I have a headache now.
You better keep all that in there.
Evan's vein is
Keep it all in there.
Yeah.
pulsing.
My veins having a party.
We're about to have to.
We're about to
About to
wheel
call
him out of here.
911 for Evan over
I'm
here.
about to burst.
Burst, by the way.
What happened? It burst. Isn't it weird? It's like you don't think there's enough room for a big vein right here between your skull and your skin.
You have a straight up artery on your forehead. Yeah.
Artery is the same thing as a vein, but the other way.
Like if you got cut there, you would die.
I would probably
Yeah,
die.
It would take like
Dunzo.
3 seconds. It's like the jugular.
Jack, live your
You
head.
get them laughing, and then you cut it.
Yeah.
Instantly.
And he's like, and that's it. All the blood. All of it.
All of it.
Straight out the dome.
You'll see in so we've had two. Everybody in here plays video games. So we've had PS5 and Xbox Series X are out. Both of them are having like their own
Best Box.
kind of sets of issues.
Are they?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so Xbox is having problems with their disc.
Somehow they start
Right.
vaping.
Yeah.
I know. I
Some
saw
people-
that.
Oh, that was so fake.
But then PlayStation's had troubles with like their
Do they have network issues?
yeah,
They
something like
always have network issues.
something with like their like it'll get corrupted or something if they try and do something.
Yeah,
It's weird.
well, yeah, there was one where he was
I
talking
watch
about
Disney
like
movies.
if you're playing the new Spider-Man movie game that comes with the PlayStation, that it corrupts the hard
like,
drive.
yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's great.
That's not, that's. I bet it has
Yeah,
a
you get a
memory
whole new
leak.
PS5.
They sometimes games will do this thing. I'm gonna get this wrong, but as you play them, it's like writing data because it's saved data, and sometimes it'll just write and 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 not compress any of it. It just keeps writing the entire length until your hard drive is at max, but your hard drive doesn't like tell it it's at max. There's nothing for it when a program's writing to it every second,
Yeah.
and so it just
You ever wonder how they could be like space on like a disc or like a USB. Like
No,
there's just
because
an
I know how
allotted
it works.
amount
I
of
need to smoke
space.
some before
I
we discuss
think it's
this.
interesting. You can have something that's the same size, but this has like
More.
twice as much space as this thing.
Yeah.
It's just more chips.
Yeah.
They all have the same size
Kinda
board in
nice,
them,
dude.
but they have
Doritos.
salt and vinegar.
The good shit.
Yeah.
There it is.
They just use the standard
Salt and
size
vinegar.
and just put more chips on the board in it. It's I mean it's a scam.
I got
It's a scam. To be honest, it's a scam.
What's a scam is that new like Microsoft so they're you can get something to increase
zoom
the
in on that?
memory on it, but I think it has to be theirs for the new Xbox.
It probably does.
And it's like $250 or something.
It'll
wow.
it'll take 2 months and there will be a off-brand one. That's what
Yeah.
happened with the Switch. It
Oh.
took 2 months and there's all kinds of hardware that works with it. That's aftermarket.
I ended up getting Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, good.
It's the first one. That's the first Assassin's Creed game I've ever played.
So the
Are
last
they
one
all
they made-
intertwined?
No,
No,
Assassin's
they're-
Creed has probably It's funny that you asked that because it probably has the single most convoluted story of any video game ever.
Oh, really?
Of like a whole series.
Oh, okay.
It's like they're supposed to, but they don't at all. It's like they just forget what happened in the last game every time they make a
Is
new
it the
one.
same character?
No.
No,
No.
Oh, wow.
not at all.
No, one's in like
Do they
Greece.
even do like the going into the past from the future thing in this one? Like the first two games.
Yes. Yeah, there
that's
was one
so
like I was
cringy.
talking like
just
I played.
make it the past.
Yeah, because I would played for a good 4 or 5 hours, and he asked, he's like, "So are you like someone sleeping?" I'm like, "No, I'm just a Viking." Like,
Yeah.
And then he leaves. I'm like, "Oh, I wake up in present time. They
Yeah.
found my remains in North America,
Yeah.
and she's in the frickin' whatever going to the past
Yep.
to be me to figure
So
out
what's the
why."
plot of Assassin's Creed? Just kill people?
I
No.
couldn't tell you. I mean,
Each has like a different plot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
all different.
Valhalla, you leave Norway because you basically get kicked out and you start taking over England, basically.
But in the meat of the game, you just have to kill certain people?
yeah,
that's
well,
every
yeah,
game.
because there's
I mean, I
also
guess so,
because
yeah.
intertwined with that, you are also part of you become part of the Order of the Assassins.
Order of the Phoenix.
We should have... we
No,
should-
and then you're trying to, and there's another secret society called the Order of the Templar, and you
We should
try to
have
assassinate
Charlie
those people.
play, and Will too. I don't know if he played it. What? Slender?
No, I was gonna say Outlast.
The Arrival?
I gave that idea.
Oh, Outlast
we
too.
played Slender almost all the way through one night at your old
the
apartment.
old apartment. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should play, dude. By far, Outlast is close second, but I will never be able to replicate the fear that we felt playing Slender.
I don't
Arrival.
watch scary
Arrival, not
movies.
Slenderman. Slender
So,
Arrival.
It's different. We should play. I'll tell you what we should play. Resident Evil 7 because it's newer than both of those and it's just like it.
Really?
Like and it's
It's
really
like,
pretty
dude,
scary.
I'll do it.
Dude, Slender Arrival, it's so crazy because, like, it's just creepy the way they have it set up. There's that one level with the kid in the field. That made me crap my pants every time I
So
played
you have to
that,
like
dude.
run through this field, and if you don't run all the way through it, like
If you don't run on the path, you have to
Yeah.
stay on the path.
And
And,
you
if
have
you
to run
slow
through.
down, that demon kid.
yeah, there's like a
kills you.
demon kid like running around, and he'll like get you.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's awesome. Like, it's
weird
awesome,
game.
but, like, once you play it through one time, it's not good anymore because you know what
it
happens.
was an
but-
indie game.
Yeah.
It's not like a high budget.
Yeah, but once
No,
you...
by no means.
But once you, like, the first time we played it through, dude, I remember we were all sitting there, we turned all the lights off in our apartment, and we were sitting there
course.
playing it, dude, and it was frightening. Like,
I was frightened. I was
liked-
clutching my pearls.
I liked Outlast, and I liked the DLC Whistleblower, where you're playing from the other end of that game, whereas like you're an actual person who works there
yeah.
to start off with, and you're trying to get out. I played some of the second
It was
Outlast
okay.
We played at your bachelor party.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just didn't think it was that good.
Went out.
I've heard the same. Yeah,
I
I've
felt
heard
like the
it's not as
second
good.
like the first Outlast was like a bunch of weird stuff, and it was actually good. You had to figure things out and then get through it. I feel like the second one was just like, what can we do? I feel like it's like the game equivalent of Midsummer. It's like, what can we do that's just the most outrageous but actually have
Oh, yeah.
nothing to offer?
Yeah.
Like, there's a part where you're walking over like an entire like basically pool, like hundreds of like just dead babies. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh
what-
yeah.
like, there's nothing
Yeah.
actually here. Like
when
we're
I
just
see
doing
dead
this
babies
now.
in something, I'm like, okay, you ran out of ideas.
Yeah,
It's
and that's
like,
what I felt like. second one was.
thing?
So
Dead
what's,
children.
What's Resident Evil? Like,
Resident
I know
Evil-
what Resident Evil is. What's the game
So
like?
it's a very simple game. Like your girlfriend is gone for like 2 years, and you're just like, she ghosted me, and then you get an email message, and it's like she's saying, don't try to come and find me. stay away, blah, blah, blah. And then you get another one that's like, help me, please. This is where I am.
Oh, okay.
And so your guy goes, and then you get out of the car, and that's the start of the game at this house. And you go in the house. It's all like dilapidated and whatnot. And then I can't remember how you get tied to the chair, but basically something happens. You wake up tied to the chair, and there's a mom and a dad and a son and a grandma in a wheelchair, and they're all like zombie people, and they're eating like rotten flesh, and they try to feed it to you, but they hear something, they get up, and basically you're in this giant mansion, and there's zombie people running around, and you're trying to get out, but there's like puzzles and...
Oh, wow.
But, so in the main mansion, the dad is just walking around with a shovel, and he'll literally like chop your head off with a shovel. And it's first person, so you can only like look one direction the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
Have you guys
me and
seen-
Grace played through it, and we like crept our pants a couple of times. You get a flamethrower.
Well, and that's what I liked about like Outlast. Like, yeah, you're first person, you're there, but you have the big guy who walks around, trying to kill you. You have the twins, the naked twins with machetes that are trying to run around and kill you.
Yeah, dude, I remember that. That was so...
You have the
You gotta
crazy
find batteries
dude.
and stuff. That was a good
Yeah,
game,
the crazy
man.
like scientist guy with the giant scissors.
That's in the DLC.
Yeah, no, that's in the regular. In the DLC, you have a hacksaw man. is what
Oh,
we call him.
yeah, that's
and
right.
he's just got this like, and you always know he's around when you start hearing. From,
Yeah.
like the saw, like you don't even see him. He's
I
like.
feel like I
a mile
remember.
away.
I feel like I remember the first Outlast. There was a spot where you're like down in a basement. And I'm not gonna describe it. It's too. You won't understand it.
We should get not like he's too big. We should get Andrew Lyle on here because he used to speed run it. He'll tell you all the secrets.
I played it once, and then I played Outlast a second time, and I did pretty good.
Well, yeah. Once you know how to do it,
Yeah.
those
he could
kind
beat
of
the
games,
game in like 17 minutes.
I was gonna say those scary games. Like once you've done it, you know it's.
Yeah.
There's not much more to it.
I think Resident Evil 7 takes like 45 minutes to beat all the way. Like if you know where to go, where everything's hidden.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but the whole game is like finding where everything's hidden. Yeah.
Gotcha. Have y'all seen? I can't remember what the game is, but maybe if I tell y'all this, you'll know, or well, you might. There's a game where they're like on top of a building and it's raining. Okay.
Building game.
And then there's a cut scene.
Building.
It's not what the game is. I guess it's just if you know what I'm talking about. Then there's a cut scene of something happening. Don't know.
Very helpful.
And but what happens is in the cut scene, the guy keeps hitting like the vocal, like you can vocalize, and there's a glitch. And what happened was, like right before the cut scene started, he was looking at like his friend's dead body, and so he was like, no. And so it glitched every time in the cutscene. Every time he hit the vocalize button, the guy would be talking to the main character, like the villain. They'd be talking, then all of a sudden, he'd be like, no!
I have no
You don't know.
idea.
It's hilarious. I'll
hilarious,
see if I
though.
can find it.
There's this really good glitch I saw at Games Done Quick is in Kingdom Hearts 1. It's like if all of the cutscenes load when you go into an area. So if you know like right where the cutscene loads, if you do something weird right before that, your character will be doing that weird thing in the cutscene. So if you like roll and attack at the same time as you go in the cutscene, you are suspended in roll and attack throughout the whole cutscene. So Sora's just going, huh, ha, huh, ha, like through the background of the cutscene while people are talking to nobody because he's not there.
Nice.
Well,
It's like, how do you find that out anyway?
Valhalla has like some weird bugs to it, like, and he was kind of telling me about it. He was like, yeah, like weird stuff will happen during cutscenes, like they haven't like fixed some of the stuff, and then 4 minutes later there's a cutscene and he just walks through a different body, like
Great.
like,
Yeah, during the
straight- yeah.
cutscene, he
Right.
like walks right through the person he's talking to.
I was playing a game a while back, and none of all of the dialogue was playing early, like
Nice.
a second earlier than it should have.
that's
So like
annoying.
somebody would be talking, and then the scene would change, and they would walk in, but they were talking a second ago. And it was the whole game. Every cutscene, the dialogue was a second early. I was like, how does this happen?
Nice.
And it's like it patched and everything when I put it in. It's Cutscenes are like, I don't understand why they can't figure that out, but they're always bad.
Yeah.
I like, yeah. One of my things I don't like about cutscenes is like sometimes like I feel like hand motions they do just like aren't realistic.
Yeah, they're
Like-
getting better at it because they're actually having actors act
Do 'em.
and then motion track. But I mean, that's still pretty recent.
One of the most like realistic looking like cutscenes I've ever seen has been like some of the latest Halo games. They've always looked.
I'm
really
ready for
good.
the new Halo to come out, dude.
Like realistic.
Thanks for your
stuff.
contribution.
Thanks,
But Yeah, he's over there.
I can't find it. I'm trying to find that.
That's what you've been working on this whole
Yeah,
time?
for when we're done, I want to play it for y'all, but...
Metal Gear Solid has amazing cutscenes because the guy who directs those games actually wants to make movies, but they can't. You can't make a 45-hour-long movie. So he's like, this is the only thing I can do. But you know, he's Japanese, so they always go like above and beyond, like way too far. There's lens flares and all that crap.
Nice.
They're great. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid has great
those, and
cutscenes.
another big franchise I've never been into is Gears of War.
Yeah.
I've never touched Gears of War.
tried.
I've played
tried.
one
They
for a
look
little while, and it wasn't for
so
me.
boring. They look so boring.
Yeah.
It's like you have this.
They are, dude. I mean, I've played a couple, like, a few times, and they're really not that interesting.
It's like every time I see gameplay of that, it's like the same guy. They're shooting the same things in the same place with the same guns. I don't know why you would want to play 4 games of that.
Another game I've never really gotten into has been Borderlands.
Borderlands is
I've
great.
never played that.
You should play the third one. If you can get the third one on Xbox cheap, like for $20, it's awesome. The story sucks. The shooting is awesome.
One of my favorite games that I still love today has always been Skyrim.
I can't stand
love
Skyrim.
Skyrim,
At all.
Why
Yeah.
not?
I think it's boring. The combat sucks.
If I'm in the mood
The,
for it,
the
I'll love
menus suck.
You just need to just get into
I
it.
gave it some time. I played like 16 hours, like when I first got it, and I was just.
So
it. You gotta love, like, RPG games. Like,
I love
the
RPG games. Skyrim
life.
is like the bare minimum an RPG game can be.
there, like, I feel like you need to like having something to do, but also like enjoy, like, while you're doing this thing, just doing bullshit stuff along the way.
I do like that. Skyrim just is boring. It's just the boring version
Okay,
of
well,
that.
you're just
All right,
wrong, but
man.
it's okay.
All right.
I do like that there's just a lot of stuff to do. Like, that always kept me entertained anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I looked up the other day, like, how long it takes to complete the whole game. And it's
Not that long.
Anywhere between 100 and 300 hours.
Oh, to do like literally everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not... And the game generates miscellaneous quests, so that taken out, but, like, all the actual quests and then, like, the main quests.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, it's like every quest is just go down to this dungeon and kill the guy at the end, and then there's suddenly an exit at the end that goes right to the top.
well,
That's every quest.
not all of them, but you have some that are, like especially the Assassin's Guild.
Yeah, that's
A
the
lot of-
only thing I did when I played, and I
lot-
beat that, and there was no, I was like,
a lot of those were really good.
yeah.
I also really liked being with the Stormcloaks and doing that whole quest, which takes a long time, which is the war quest.
I
20
never got
minutes.
that far. Yeah, we're almost there. Around. Yeah, Skyrim's boring.
I got
and
a
smelly.
pee so bad.
Okay, well, Okay, well, let's wrap this up. Let's all say just like one of our favorite video games. Go.
Halo franchise.
Definitely like Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Yeah, any of them.
I honestly haven't played enough to have a favorite. I mean,
Great, thanks for your contribution.
No, so I've had an Xbox for a year, and before that, my last console was a PlayStation 2.
It wasn't even
Would
like
your parents
Pong
let
or
you play
anything?
video games?
Yeah.
Okay,
but
my
I
parents
had time limits.
never really did.
I had a Super Nintendo, so I
Oh,
played
wow,
a lot
nice.
of Donkey Kong and Super
I
Mario.
loved Pong when it came out.
Screw you.
All right.
I don't know. I enjoy Skyrim, but one of my favorite games that I still occasionally think about is the original Battlefront 2.
I think about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I think about it every night.
I think
Great.
about it every night.
Fire.
Yeah, I like the PS2
Hey,
Battlefront.
shout out to my homies on the Battlefront 2 Facebook page. It's coming right. It's coming right to y'all next Monday.
I'm liking Assassin's Creed. This is Valhalla. It's fun. I mean, I've had it.
It
for
has
a
great
couple
reviews,
days,
which I was
so-
surprised about. Yeah.
One of my favorites that I've played is still Assassin's Creed 3, which I think has gotten some of the worst reviews, if I remember right. Like, a lot of people didn't like it.
That tracks for you though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks
Well, I
out.
like the whole, like, Revolutionary War, like, feel. Of
It's
that
a cool.
one.
It was a cool setting. I was always disappointed to hear that it wasn't good or whatever.
I feel like it's because that character kind of isn't relatable. Like, the character actually just, like, genuinely all the time is just in a bad mood.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's super relatable.
He was like really edgy.
Well, he's, like, never nice. He's never just, like, happy to be there. Like,
The British are coming, dude. The lobster backs are here. All right, let's wrap this before the camera shut off.
Okay, bye.
Peace out, boys and girls.
Later.
He, she, him, shims.